Yo, Steel Mills, man, what's the dizzle? Bro. I just caught wind. I didn't even know Regis was fighting this weekend. I didn't know. Versus Red Cash. I did not know that. I knew Tony Harrison was fighting this weekend, and I already gave a breakdown on Andrade versus Liam Williams this weekend. I'm very excited for that fight, and I'm very excited for Tony Harrison, and I'm excited for Regis Prograis. I think, dude, you know, making his entrance into the welterweight division, that's big. What I'm not excited about is the fact that he's on the undercard of a fucking YouTuber, bro. This shit is just drag out disrespectful to me, man. Like, look, man, the Paul brothers can scrap. I'm not taking that away from them, man. They niggas, they can fight. They should never be in a position to where they're headlining over people who do this as a profession. And not just as a profession, because they, you know, the Paul brothers, they got claims that they're doing it as a profession. But when I say a profession, I mean title bouts. You know, they're moving through the rankings. They're not fighting MMA niggas and ex-basketball players and shit like that. When I say profession, I mean niggas who's really, you know, they're fighting people who are on their level. They're fighting world-class fighters. Not just some shit off of YouTube, man. That shit really pisses me off. That is the biggest slap in the face, my nigga. Like, how do you, as a fighter, go through years of putting your body through strenuous punishment just to turn around and reach a Regis Prograis is fresh off of a bout with Josh Taylor. A unification bout that could have went either way. And he has to turn around and take a backseat to a Jake Paul. Like, that shit is just drag out disrespectful, man. And I'm really getting tired. Like, why is it that boxing, why do niggas get to play with boxing like that? You dig me? Why is it that we, you know, they get to play with boxing like that? I could be wrong, but I have yet to see Dana White co-sign any bullshit of a motherfucker trying to play with MMA. I've not seen that. It's boxers who do goofy shit. It's Oscar De La Hoya who will put a Ronda Rousey on a fucking Ring magazine cover. And now a dude like Devin Haney, and now Regis Prograis, and even Ivan Redcash, and these cats, they have to take a back seat. They have to take a back. Do I go that way? No. They have to take a back seat to some dudes who don't do what they do on their level. That pisses me off, man. That shit is extreme. That shit is wild disrespectful. That shit is wild disrespectful. There is no excuse for that whatsoever. Regis Prograis is a former world champion. Former world champion who arguably won that fight with Josh Taylor, who's about to fight for Undisputed, but he has to take a backseat to Jake Paul and a former mixed martial artist. Like, come on, man. And you know, and he's about, and what's crazy is this: Paul's about to get drag amounts of accolades for doing this, because he's possibly gonna beat the shit out of this dude, because allegedly, I don't know his name, but he wasn't known as a striker when he was competing in MMA. So you can't even, you're not even a reputable striker within your own profession, but you're gonna come over here into boxing where it's only the only means of scoring is and winning the fight is to strike. You're gonna come over here in this lane and think you're gonna be successful, and like, no. He's gonna get credited for that win, and it's gonna continue to inflate his head. That shit is corny. That shit is corny as fuck. Like I said, I've seen people say, oh man, well, he has a professional win. He has a professional win against Nate Robinson. Who in their right mind is about to say Nate Robinson is a professional boxer? Nobody. Like this shit is this shit is the gimmicky shit, man. And you know, and the fact that it's gonna sell, that shit is ridiculous. It should be no instance where these YouTubers are being paid or being headlined over champions. That shit is ridiculous. Or even fucking credible contenders and prospects. They shouldn't be headlining over these dudes. These niggas put they all on the line just to turn around and be a fucking co-main event up under a Jake Paul. Like, come on, man. That shit is just that's entirely disrespectful to the sport. That is entirely disrespectful to the sport. Boxing has been around for well over 100 years at this point in time. Well over 100 years. Y'all do not need, you know, extra money. Simply promote your fights better. If you worried about losing out on money, promote your fights more. Promote your fights better. Put fucking quit trying to marinate a fight until to the, you know, to the point where it's just like, all right, we're not even interested in this shit no more. Quit doing dumb shit as promoters and make these cats fight. As soon as the people start calling for it, all right, cool, it's time for them niggas to get in there and mix it up. Y'all do dumb shit, and just the fact that y'all would make these YouTubers entitled to where they can come over here into this lane and think that they're factors is just astonishing to me. And a lot of you promoters are ex-boxers. Y'all can't see how disrespectful that is? That means that's nothing to y'all that Jake Paul is about to fight a former mixed martial artist over a Regis Prograis, a former world champion who's in his prime and is just finally entered into the hottest division in the sport. That doesn't mean anything to y'all? Like, come on, man. Y'all gotta stop with this dumb shit. That shit is unacceptable, man. Jake Paul, the dude can fight. He can fight. He gets busy, bro. But he should never be in a position of where he's headlining over a goddamn Regis Prograis. That should never happen. And even the Lorenzo Simpson, man, one of the youngest from my gym, has fought Lorenzo Simpson in the amateurs twice. They fought twice. He's been through the fucking fires, man. And, you know, he was a nationally ranked amateur. Great amateur pedigree, but he has to take a back seat to Jake Paul, man. Like, that shit is just disrespectful. And he's only taking the back seat because motherfuckers know who he is on a whole different platform. Oh, it's gonna bring in more views. Like, so the fuck what? So what? Who cares about that shit, man? Boxing is the most successful sport as far as combatives are concerned. There's no other sport as respected as boxing. MMA is getting up on their heels, but even to, you know, at this point, is boxing over? Boxing is the most respectable sport as far as combatives are concerned. So why are y'all conforming to these niggas who are just now starting to merge into this lane? Y'all really do a disservice to the sport, man, and it's not fair for people who have risked their livelihood for their half of their life. Even if you want to say 10 years of their life. You look at Regis Pro, is he even 30? Let's say he's 30 and he stepped into the gym at 15. That's half his life he's dedicating to the craft. Like, come on, man. Just even, you know, we ain't even got to go into the competing aspect as a professional, man. Just everything that goes into putting your body in the best shape to be as efficient and effective when it's time to compete. That shit right there alone is like, yo, for real? All the dieting and the sparring and the waking up at a certain time to run and 1,000 crunches in a day, 1,000 push-ups, you know, shit like that. You know what type of man, that shit hurts. Working out, that shit that takes a toll on your body, bro. I haven't lifted in over a year. The minute I get back on the weights in the next month and some change, I'm gonna go through a week of hell. That jolt to my muscles that my muscles ain't felt in a year plus, it's gonna, you know, it's gonna be a shocker. And I'm not a professional athlete, so for a professional athlete to go through that madness just to turn around and have to get co-main event, to be a co-main event to some niggas who do not fight on these cats' levels is completely egregious and unacceptable. Like, I gotta cut that shit out, man. This shit is completely blasphemous. Completely blasphemous, man. And if this Thriller shit, this new app or whatever, if that's what y'all gonna be about, man, and motherfuckers just respect the sport, man. That you're disrespecting the sport of boxing. You're completely disrespecting the sport. I don't see nobody doing this shit with MMA. I see nobody doing this with MMA. Nobody. They not gonna go. Dana White would not allow motherfuckers to come over there and play UFC. The motherfuckers who run Bellator, it's not gonna happen. You gonna respect what we do over here. You gonna respect what we do over here. All the shit we go through to be as good as we are, you think I'm gonna allow some anyways ass niggas to just come? All right, cool. I've been training for about a year and some change, maybe a little bit more. So I'm gonna pick another celebrity to fight with to display my skill set and what I've learned. Like, come on, man. That shit is disrespectful, man. That shit is, and it pisses me off that nobody is calling this shit out. They just been. You can have your celebrity matches, man, but have that shit on your own time. I'm not mad at motherfuckers having a celebrity match on their own time, man, but when you start to step on the toes of people who done dedicated their life to this sport, that's when it becomes problematic. So, with all due respect, because I see, you know, I don't want to say this, I've seen the growth because I haven't seen him grow. I've seen where he's at now, as far, you know, Jake Paul and even Logan Paul. With all due respect, get them the fuck out of here. Get them the fuck out of here. Let them headline some, you know, why can't, it's plenty of YouTubers that's out here getting busy. Put them up with some other YouTubers on a card where it's just strictly celebrity boxing. Strictly celebrity boxing. Do that. Leave the professional fights to the professional fighters. Peace.